Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're looking at question 17 now on the 2005 grade 8 Gauss paper. So, question 17. If A is an even integer and B is an odd integer, which of the following could represent an odd integer? Okay. So what have we got here? A plus 2b, 2a minus 2b, a plus b plus 1, or a minus b. Okay, so we got multiplications and we got additions. It's up to us to understand the relationship because we don't know what a and b are. Now, one thing you could do is you could just pick numbers for a and b. You could say a is 6 and b is 3 or something like that, and work out each of these actually. And say, okay, well, that one's even, and this one here, he's odd. So, this one's going to be the answer. And these other ones, as I calculated them out, they were even. Okay, and we could do that. We could, but if we understand the relationship between odd and even numbers, how they multiply, how they add, how they subtract, you're going to actually be able to do this one at a conceptual level, and likely, if you really understand those relationships, you'll be able to do them in your head. Okay, so let's take a look. We have a plus 2b, I know there was a plus b plus 1. I know there was a minus b at the end, which I believe is the answer. And then 2a minus 2b. Okay. So we got additions, subtractions, and multiplications. Things to note, an even number times an odd number is always even. Okay, we can fill this out. Even times even is always even. And odd times odd is always odd. Okay, try this. Pick any odd numbers, multiply them together, you'll get an odd number. Okay. 2 is an even number. This is going to be important for our calculations here. And when it comes to addition, an even plus an even is even. An even plus an odd is odd. An odd plus an odd is even. And we can flip these around, rearrange this one, say an even minus an even is even. An even minus an odd is odd. And an odd minus an odd is even. Now this gets you all the basic relationships other than division. And the reason you can't quite do division, odd divided by odd, assuming that the outcome is an integer, is always odd. And even divided by odd is always even, but even divided by even doesn't quite work. Because if I do 6 divided by 2, that's odd. But if I do 4 divided by 2, that's even. So that's why we don't usually do make a chart like this with division. Because when it comes to evenness, then you have to start considering divisibility by 4 and things like that. But we know a is even, so this one here is even times odd, but that's the very first thing we talked about. This is even. Okay, well, how about even plus 2 times an odd, but 2 is even, and even times an odd is even, so this is an even plus an even. Even. I'm going to start writing E's and O's, just because I'm going to run out of space. So 2 times an even, well, that's even times even. Plus, or minus an even times an odd. But those are both evens, and even minus even is even. All right, a plus b plus 1, well, oh, sorry, 1 is odd is another thing we should have on our list. So that's an even plus an odd plus another odd. Now this even plus odd at the start, well, that's going to be odd, according to our little chart here. But we still have 1. We still have that other odd, and odd plus odd is even. Finally, at the end here, we have even minus odd, and that is odd. Okay, now, did that take us a while? Yeah, I wrote out a chart here. But that chart's for people who didn't already understand these relationships. If you did understand that, you could have done this in your head. You could have said, okay, a times b, that's even times odd, that's going to be even. I don't have to worry about a. A is not the right answer, and so on. And it can become very quick if you just do the math in your head. Okay? So that's sort of my public service announcement to understand these relationships. Another great set to understand is positive and negative numbers. How do they multiply together? How do they divide? That sort of thing. How do they add? Can you even tell what's going to go on if they add? And that sort of thing. But these are great relationships to know. Okay? So our answer here is going to be, oddly enough, E. E for even, that's why that was funny, and I did say oddly, so I'm just full of whimsy today. But E is our answer. Okay, and I don't think we have enough room here for the next question, which is 18, but I'll leave that for future root beer to deal with. I'll see you guys in the next video.